They say you can measure a man by what he stands up for. That night, I found out what I was worth. 366, midnight. Rain coming down like bullets. An old woman, 71 years old, homeless, torn clothes, silver hair plastered to her face. 4 men circling her like wolves, 20 people watching. Not one moved. I should have kept riding. I was just an old biker. 67 years old, retired, done with fighting. But then I saw her eyes. Terrified, but defiant, just like my brother Griffin, 47 years ago. Right before he died saving my worthless life, my hands gripped the throttle, my heart pounded, and I heard Griffin's voice in my head, "Be the man I know you can be." I killed the engine, stepped into the rain, and said 2 words that changed everything. Enough. My name is Dalton Caine. Folks used to call me Ironside. That was a long time ago, back when I was president of the Hells Angels. Tucson chapter. Arizona now. I'm just an old man who fixes motorcycles, 67 years old. Gray beard down to my chest. Hands scarred from wrenches in life. Bad left shoulder from a bullet I took in the Gulf War. Should have killed me. Didn't. Just left me with pain every time it rains. And in Arizona, it don't rain much, but when it does, I feel it. I live alone now. Have for 6 years. Small cabin, 20 miles outside Tucson, middle of the desert. Nothing around but cactus and sky. My wife Marlene died in 2013. Heart gave out in her sleep. She was 62. We were married 40 years. Met her when I was fresh out of the Air Force. She was a waitress at a truck stop. Had the prettiest smile I'd ever seen. Still does. In my memories anyway. No kids. We tried. Didn't happen. Doctor said it was me. Something from my time in the service. Chemicals. Radiation. Who knows? Marlene never blamed me. Said we had each other. That was enough. Now I got nobody. Just me and the ghosts. Every morning starts the same way. Up at 5 a.m. Don't need an alarm. Body's been waking up at 5 for 40 years. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Just coffee. I sit on the porch, watch the sun come up over the desert. Sky turns orange, then pink, then blue. Marlene used to sit out here with me. We didn't talk much, didn't need to, just sat. Drank coffee, watched the world wake up. Now I sit alone. After coffee, I head to the garage. It's a big garage. Bigger than the cabin, actually. I built it myself in '96. Lifts, every tool you could need. I fix bikes for a living. Mostly Harleys, sometimes old Triumphs. Indians if I'm lucky. British bikes if someone's desperate. Word gets around. People know I'm good. Fair prices. Don't talk much. They drop off their bikes. I fix them. They pick them up. That's it. The work keeps me sane. Keeps my hands busy. Keeps my mind from wandering. Around noon I clean up. Right into town. I got a 1987 Harley-Davidson Softail. Black. Chrome pipes. Runs like a dream. Been mine for 32 years. Bought it with my first paycheck after I left the club. That bike's seen more miles than most people see in a lifetime. I ride to Pearl's Diner. Same place, same time. Every day. Pearl Madison owns it. 69 years old. Gray hair in a bun. Always wearing an apron. Known her since Marlene and I moved here in '95. Pearl's good people. Never asked questions. Never pushes. Just pours coffee and leaves me be. I order the same thing. Chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, green beans, eat slow. Watch the people come and go. Truckers, travelers, locals. Everyone's got somewhere to be, something to do. Me, I got time. After lunch, I ride to the cemetery, Mountain View Memorial Park, east side of Tucson, under a big oak tree. That's where Marlene rests. I sit on the bench next to her grave. Tell her about my day. Fixed a '72 shovelhead today, Lynn. Thing was a mess. Previous owner didn't know a carburetor from a crankshaft. Took me 4 hours. But she purrs now. I know she can't hear me. Don't matter. I talk anyway. Sometimes I cry, not often. But sometimes, usually on our anniversary, or her birthday, or Christmas days that used to mean something. After an hour or so, I get back on the bike, and I ride 66. The old highway runs right through Arizona. Historic road. Used to be the main route from Chicago to LA. Before the interstates. Before the world got fast, now it's mostly forgotten. Cracked pavement, faded signs, ghosts of what used to be. I like it that way. I ride west. Same route every day. Through Flagstaff, past Winslow, toward Holbrook. And every day, I stop at the same place. Mile marker 247, right there on the side of the road. Nothing special about it, just a sign. A number. I kill the engine. Get off the bike. Stand there, stare west, toward New Mexico, toward Albuquerque. It's 80 miles from marker 247 to Albuquerque. I know because I'm time ago. 80 miles, I've never gone closer. Not in 47 years, because that's where my brother died. Griffin Caine, he was 8 years older than me. Born in 1944. I was born in 1952. Griffin practically raised me. Our dad was a drunk. Mom left when I was 6. Griffin took care of me. Made sure I ate. Made sure I went to school. Joined the Marines when he was 18. Served tours in Vietnam. Came home in 1970. Changed, quieter, haunted, but still my brother. Still the only person who gave a damn about me. By then, I was 18 and stupid, angry at the world. Angry at everything. I dropped out of high school. Started using heroin, pills, whatever I could get. Fell in with a bad crowd. A gang in Albuquerque. Dealer criminals. Griffin tried to pull me out. Tried to get me clean. I wouldn't listen. Told him to leave me alone. That I didn't need him. July 1972. I was 20 years old. Owed the gang money. A lot of money. They said pay up or die. I didn't have it. Griffin found out. Don't know how. But he always knew when I was in trouble. He came to Albuquerque, found the gang. Went in alone. Got me out. Dragged me to his truck. But they followed. Caught us in an alley. Shots fired. Griffin took 2 bullets. One in the stomach. One in the chest. Pulled me into the truck. Told me to drive. I didn't. I froze. He collapsed. Blood everywhere. I held him. Screamed for help. Nobody came. Not for 10 minutes. By then it was too late. He looked at me, blood on his lips, breath rattling, and he said, "Don't let my death mean nothing, Dal. Live. Be the man I know you can be." Then he took off his dog tag, the one from the Marines, pressed it into my hand, and he died, right there in my arms. I was covered in his blood, screaming, crying. Cops came, ambulance came, but Griffin was gone. I went to his funeral a week later. Couldn't speak. Couldn't look at the casket. All I could think was he died because of me. Because I was weak, stupid, worthless. I swore that day. Swore I'd never touch drugs again. Never be that person again. I joined the Air Force the next day. Needed structure, discipline, a reason to live. Spent 20 years in. Aircraft mechanic. Fixed fighter jets. F-16s mostly. Deployed to the Gulf War in 1990. Desert Storm. Got a Bronze Star for fixing a jet under enemy fire. Saved the pilot's life. Felt good. Like maybe I was earning back some of what Griffin gave. But I never went back to Albuquerque, couldn't. Every time I thought about it, I saw his blood. His eyes. His last breath. So I stopped at mile marker 247. Every day, as close as I could get. As close as I deserved. That's been my life for 47 years. Work. Ride. Stop at the marker. Go home. Repeat. Until that night, the night everything changed. It was late October 2019. Would have been Marlene's and my 42nd anniversary. If she'd lived. I spent the day in Flagstaff, visiting her grave. Talking to her, telling her I missed her. That the cabin felt empty without her. By the time I left, it was dark. Around 10 p.m. I got on the bike. Started the long ride home. The temperature dropped fast. Desert nights do that. Hot all day. Freezing at night, I pulled my jacket tighter, kept riding. Around 11, I felt the first drops of rain, rare in Arizona, but it happens. By 11:30, it was coming down hard, cold, stinging. I should have pulled over, waited it out, but I'm stubborn. Always have been, so I kept going. By midnight, I was soaked, shivering, visibility down to almost nothing. My shoulder ached. Old war wound acting up. I needed gas, needed to get out of the rain. Saw the lights of the Desert Rose truck stop. Just outside Holbrook, pulled in, parked under the awning. The place was busy, 18-wheelers everywhere, drivers waiting out the storm. I killed the engine, sat there a minute, let the rain hammer the roof above me. Thought about Marlene, about Griffin, about all the years gone by. Wondered what the hell I was doing with my life. Fixing bikes. Talking to ghosts, stopping at mile markers. What kind of life was that? I shook my head, got off the bike, headed toward the main building. Needed coffee, maybe food. That's when I heard it, a scream muffled, desperate, coming from the far corner of the parking lot. I stopped, listened, rain pounding, wind howling, but I heard it again. A woman's voice, crying out. I looked around, saw a few truckers nearby. They heard it too, but they looked away. Not their problem. I stood there, torn. This wasn't my business. I didn't know who was screaming. Didn't know why. Could be a domestic. A drunk. Nothing serious. The smart thing was to walk away. But I've never been smart. I started walking toward the sound, hand instinctively going to my belt, to the buck knife I always carry. Old habits from the club days. Always be ready. The corner of the lot was dark. One streetlight flickering on and off, shadows everywhere. And then I saw them, surrounding someone. I got closer, saw who it was, an old woman 70, maybe older, gray hair. Soaked, tangled, wearing a jacket 3 sizes too big, ripped jeans, sneakers with holes. She was on her knees, clutching a canvas bag to her chest. One of the men grabbed her arm, twisted it. She screamed, "Give us the drive." "You old bitch," he snarled. "No," she gasped. "Please, it's all I have." He slapped her, hard. She fell sideways. The other men laughed. Saw the patches. Road Reapers MC Outlaw Motorcycle Club. Rivals of the Hells Angels, no code, no honor, just violence and greed. The one doing the hitting, I knew him. Vince Blade Kruger, late 30s, shaved head, neck tattoos. Enjoyed hurting people. I'd crossed paths with him years ago. Back when I was president, he hated me. I hated him. But that was old business, old life. I looked around again, saw at least 20 people watching. Truckers, staff, travelers, all of them seeing this. None of them doing anything. I understood why. Road Reapers had a reputation. You cross them, they come for you. For your family, they burn your house, ruin your life, so people looked away. I should have too. I was 67, retired, one bad shoulder, arthritis in my knees. What could I do against 4 men half my age? But then the woman looked up, our eyes met, and I saw something in her face. Fear, yes. But something else too, defiance. She wasn't begging, wasn't pleading, she was fighting. Even on her knees, even beaten, still fighting, just like Griffin. Griffin never begged those men in the alley, never asked for mercy, he fought. Even when the bullets hit, even when he was dying, he fought. And this old woman? She was fighting too, for whatever was in that bag, for her dignity, for something that mattered. I felt something shift inside me. All the years I'd spent running, hiding, voiding, all the guilt, the shame, the regret. Griffin died so I could live, so I could be better. And what had I done? Fixed bikes, visited graves, stood at mile markers. I'd survived. But I hadn't lived. Not really, but maybe. Right now. Tonight, I could do something that mattered. I could be the man Griffin died, believing I could be. I stepped forward, out of the shadows, into the rain, into the light. And I said one word, enough. Vince turned, saw me. His face split into a grin. "Well, well, well," he said. "Look who it is." He stood up, left the woman on the ground, walked toward me. Slow, confident, Dalton Caine. Ironside himself. He said my old name like it was a joke. "Heard you retired, old man." Got soft. "Living in the desert like a hermit." Didn't answer. Just stood there. Rain running down my face. Hands loose at my sides. Vince stopped 5 feet away. "This ain't your business, Ironside." "Walk away." "Can't do that," I said. My voice was calm, steady. Inside, my heart was hammering, adrenaline pumping. I hadn't been in a fight in years, not since I left the club, and I was old now, slower, weaker. But I'd learned a long time ago. Fighting isn't just about strength, it's about timing, experience, reading your opponent. And I'd read Vince. He was cocky, thought I was washed up, thought this would be easy. That was his mistake. Vince pulled a knife, butterfly knife, flicked it open with a flourish. "Your funeral, old man." He lunged fast, aiming for my gut. I sidestepped. Muscle memory from 20 years of military combatives training. Grabbed his wrist as he passed, twisted hard, felt bones grind. He screamed, dropped the knife. I didn't let go, drove my knee into his ribs. Heard something crack. He went down gasping. The other 3 rushed me. First one threw a wild punch, all anger. No technique, I ducked. Came up with an uppercut to his solar plexus. All the air left his lungs. He collapsed wheezing. Second one was smarter. Grabbed me from behind. Locked his arms around my chest, trying to pin me. Hold me for the others. I threw my head back, hard. Connected with his nose. Felt it break. Warm blood on the back of my neck. He let go yelling. Staggered back. Third one picked up Vince's knife. Came at me low. Knife hand out. Let him get close. then stepped aside, grabbed his wrist, used his own momentum, threw him into the side of a rusted pickup truck. He hit hard, metal dented. He slid down, didn't move. The whole thing took maybe 40 seconds. When it was over, all four were on the ground, groaning, bleeding. Out of the fight, I stood there breathing hard, pain shooting through my shoulder, knees screaming. Too old for this shit. Vince rolled onto his back. Spat blood? You're dead, Ironside, he hissed. Road Reapers, don't forget. We'll find you, kill everyone you love. Good luck with that, I said. Everyone I love is already dead. He tried to get up. Couldn't. Ribs probably broken. His buddies dragged themselves to their feet. Helped him up. They limped toward a black SUV at the edge of the lot. Vince looked back at me, pure hatred in his eyes. This ain't over, he said. It never is, I replied. The SUV roared to life. Tires spun in the rain. They were gone. The parking lot went quiet. I looked around, all those people. 20, maybe more. Still watching. Some looked relieved. Some looked scared. Most just looked away, like they hadn't seen anything. I turned to the old woman. She was still on the ground, clutching her bag. Shaking, I walked over, knelt beside her, kept my voice soft. Non-threatening. You okay, ma'am? She looked up, eyes searching my face, trying to figure out if I was another threat. I'm not gonna hurt you, I said, but we need to get you out of here. Those men will be back. She nodded slowly. Thank you. Can you stand? She tried. Couldn't. Legs wouldn't hold her. I helped her up. She weighed almost nothing. Bones and skin. How long had she been on the streets? That's when I saw it. The bag slipped. The canvas tore a little at the seam. And I saw what was inside money. Stacks of crumpled bills, hundreds, 50s, 20s, thousands of dollars. And something else, small, black, a USB drive. The woman saw me looking. Panicked, grabbed the bag closed, held it tight. Please, she said, voice breaking, don't take it. It's all I have. It's Walter's. It's all I have left of him. I held up my hands, showed her I wasn't a threat. I'm not taking anything, ma'am. I promise. But you need to tell me what's going on. She looked at me, tears mixing with rain. I can't, she whispered. If I tell you, they'll kill you too. They're already gonna try, I said. Road Reapers don't let things go. You humiliated them. They'll come back. She knew I was right. I could see it in her face. There's a diner, I said. Up the road. Pearl's place. Good woman. Safe place. Come with me. Get dry. Get warm. Then you can decide if you want to tell me. She hesitated. Why would you help me? She asked. You don't even know me. I looked at her. Really looked. 71 years old. Homeless. Beaten. Terrified. But still clutching that bag. Still protecting whatever was inside. Still fighting. Just like Griffin fought for me. Because a long time ago I said, someone helped me when I didn't deserve it. And I promised I'd pay that forward. She studied my face, looking for the lie. Didn't find one. Okay, she said quietly. The ride to Pearl's took 10 minutes. The old woman sat behind me on the Harley, arms wrapped, holding on for dear life. Her bag pressed between us. She never let go of it. Not once. Rain kept coming. Cold, relentless. But the Harley never quit. She never does. Pearl's Diner sat off the highway. Small building. Red neon sign in the window. Pearl's Open 24 pulled into the parking lot. Killed the engine. Helped the woman off. She was shaking. Cold. From fear. From everything. We walked inside. The place was mostly empty. 2 truckers in a booth. One old man at the counter. Pearl looked up from behind the register. Took one look at me and the woman. Both soaking wet. Both looking like hell. Dalton, Caine, she said. What in God's name happened to you two? Long story, Pearl. She came around the counter, grabbed towels from the kitchen, brought them over, started helping the woman dry off. Hurt, honey? Pearl asked her. The woman shook her head. Pearl didn't believe it, but she knew better than to push. Sit down, she said, gentle, kind, both of you. I'll get coffee. Soup. You look half frozen. We sat in the booth farthest from the door, back corner, where I could see anyone coming in. Old habit from the club days. Always watch the door. Pearl brought coffee. 2 mugs. Steam rising. The woman wrapped her hands around hers, like she was trying to absorb the warmth into her bones. I sipped mine. Black. Hot. Perfect. Pearl brought soup next. Chicken noodle. Homemade in sandwiches. Turkey. Fresh bread. Eat, she said, not a suggestion. An order. The woman ate slowly. like she hadn't had a real meal in days. She probably hadn't. Peril looked at me, raised an eyebrow. Silent question, I shook my head. Not now. She nodded. Went back to the counter, I waited. Let the woman eat, let her get warm. No point pushing. She'd talk when she was ready. After a while, she set down her spoon, looked at me. My name is Dorothy, she said. Dorothy Ashford, Dalton Caine. But you already know that. She nodded. The patches on their jackets. They called you Ironside. That was a long time ago. You were their president. Hell's Angels was past tense. I'm retired now, she looked at me. Trying to understand, why did you help me? She asked. Already told you. No, I mean really, why risk your life for a stranger? I thought about it, about Griffin, about Marlene, about all the years I'd wasted. Because I'm tired of being a coward, I said. She blinked, surprised. You don't look like a coward. Looks can be deceiving. I leaned back, looked at her straight. You said you need to get to Albuquerque. That true? She nodded. Why? She hesitated. Then slowly, carefully, she opened the canvas bag, pulled out the USB drive, set it on the table between us. This, she said. My husband gave his life for this. Tell me. And she did. Dorothy Ashford, born 1948, married Walter Ashford in 1970, 50 years together. Walter worked as an accountant. Redstone Logistics, Phoenix, Arizona, good job. Steady. Paid the bills. Born 1972, good kid, until he got into drugs in his 20s. Heroin, then pills. Couldn't hold a job. Couldn't stay clean. Dorothy and Walter tried everything. Rehab. Therapy. Tough love, nothing worked. Walter kept working. Kept the money coming. Tried to keep the family together. Then last year, he found something. Files at work. Hidden accounts. Strange transactions. Redstone Logistics wasn't just shipping goods. They were shipping drugs. Fentanyl. From Mexico into the U.S. Using their trucks, their routes, their legitimacy as cover. Operation was run by the Road Reapers MC. Walter copied everything. 3 years of records, $18 million in transactions. Names, dates, routes, bank accounts, all of it on that USB drive. He called the FBI. Got connected to an agent, Brennan Pierce, based in Albuquerque, set up a meeting. Planned to hand over the evidence. But the day before the meeting, Walter collapsed at work. Heart attack. Dead before the ambulance arrived. Dorothy didn't believe it. Walter's heart was fine. He just had a physical, clean bill of health, but the doctor said it was natural causes. Stress. Age case closed. Yeah. Then Nathaniel showed up high, desperate, needed money, found out his dad was dead, found out about the life insurance, the savings, took it all. Every penny, sold the house, took the car. Left Dorothy with nothing. She ended up on the streets, shelters, sleeping in alleys for 6 months. That's how she lived. Then 2 weeks ago, she remembered Walter had a safe, a secret one, hidden in the garage. She went back to the old house. New owners hadn't found it inside. The USB drive and $38,000 cash, emergency fund Walter had been hiding. Dorothy took it, all of it, and decided to finish what Walter started. Agent Pierce is still in Albuquerque, she said, but he's transferring tomorrow, noon, to another office. If you don't get there by then Walter died nothing. She looked at the USB drive, at the only thing she had left of her husband. I was going to take the bus, she said, then walk if I had to. It's 320 miles, I know, but I don't have a car, don't have anyone to help. Just me. She looked up at me, eyes red but steady. And now those men know I have this. They'll hunt me, kill me. Take it? Yes, I said. They will. Then I'll die trying, she said. Voice firm. Walter didn't raise a coward, and I won't let his sacrifice be for nothing. I sat there, looking at this 71-year-old homeless woman who'd lost everything. Her husband, her home, her son, but still had the courage to fight, still believed in justice, in doing the right thing, even if it killed her. I thought about Griffin, about how he came for me, even though I didn't deserve it, how he died, so I could live, and how I'd spent 47 years running from that gift, hiding, surviving, but not living. I reached into my jacket, pulled out Griffin's dog tag, set on the table next to the USB drive. Dorothy looked at it, read the inscription, Griffin Caine, USMC 1969. My brother, I said, died in Albuquerque, July 23, 1972. 47 years ago, Her eyes widened. He'd saving me. I was a junkie, a loser. He came anyway. Got shot. Bled out in my arms. I picked up the dog tag. Felt the weight of it. He told me to live. To be a better man. And I tried. I really did. I looked at Dorothy. But I never went back to Albuquerque. Couldn't face it. Couldn't face what I lost there. And now, she asked softly, now I think maybe that's exactly why I need to go. I put the dog tag back in my pocket. I'll take you to Albuquerque, Dorothy. I'll get you to Agent Pierce. And I'll make damn sure road reapers don't touch you. Why? She whispered. Because 47 years ago, someone stood up for me when I didn't deserve it. And I've been trying to earn that ever since. I stood up, offered her my hand. We leave in 30 minutes. Finish your food. Get ready. She took my hand. Held tight. Thank you, Dalton. Don't thank me yet, I said. Road reapers will be coming. This is gonna get ugly. I'm not afraid. She said. She was lying. I could see it in her eyes. But she was brave enough to lie. And sometimes that's all courage is. Lying to yourself long enough to do the right thing. We left Pearls at 1:30 in the morning. Rain had slowed to a drizzle, but the roads were still wet. Still dangerous, Dorothy climbed onto the back of my Harley, wrapped her arms around my waist, her canvas bag pressed between us. Everything she had in the world, $38,000. One U-Alter's memory. I kicked the engine to life. Felt that familiar rumble beneath me. Some men find God in church. I found mine on the road. Hold on tight, I told her. She did. We pulled out onto Route 66, heading east, toward New Mexico, toward Albuquerque, toward the place I swore I'd never go back to. The highway stretched out before us, empty, dark. Just our headlight cutting through the night, 320 miles to go, 34 hours, until Agent Pierce left Albuquerque should be plenty of time. 6 hours of riding, maybe 7 with stops. But I knew better. Road reapers weren't going to let this go. Vince Kruger wasn't the type to forgive or forget. He'd call his brothers, rally the troops, and they'd come for us. When? I kept the Harley at 70, steady, not too fast, not too slow. Didn't want to attract attention. Dorothy didn't speak, just held on. Her small frame pressed against my back. I could feel her shaking, from cold, from fear, maybe both. After about 30 minutes, she leaned forward, spoke into my ear over the wind. Why are you helping me? I'd already answered that question, but I understood why she was asking again. People don't help strangers anymore. Not like this. Not risking their lives. She needed to understand my reasons. Needed to know I wasn't going to bail. 40s and years ago. I said, I was in your shoes, Hal. I was running, scared. People wanted me dead. And my brother, for me anyway, Griffin. Yeah, Griffin. The name hurt to say. Even after all these years, he didn't have to, I continued. I was a junkie. A screw-up. Not worth saving, but he did anyway. Yeah. And it killed him. Dorothy was quiet for a moment. I'm sorry. She said, don't be. He made his choice. And he made me promise to live. To be better. And you kept that promise. I tried. 20 years in the Air Force. Got married. Stayed clean. Built a life. But you never went back to Albuquerque. No. Why not? I didn't answer right away. Trying to find the words guilt, I finally said, shame. Every time I think about that city, I see his blood. Here are his last words. What did he say? He said, don't let my death mean nothing. Live for both of us. My voice cracked a little. I cleared my throat. I've been living, surviving. But I don't know if I've been doing it right. Dorothy's grip tightened around my waist. You saved me tonight, she said. That means something, maybe. And you're taking me to Albuquerque. Even though it scares you, terrifies me, I admitted. That's courage, she said. My Walter used to say, courage isn't not being afraid. It's doing what's right despite the fear. I thought about that. Your Walter sounds like he was a good man. The best, she said, her voice breaking. We rode in silence after that. The miles ticked by. Holbrook, Joseph City, Winslow, towns sleeping. Highways empty, just us and the darkness. Around 3 a.m. I started feeling it. That prickling on the back of my neck. The sensation that something's wrong. I checked my mirrors. Nothing behind us. But the feeling didn't go away. I'd learned to trust that feeling. In the war. In the club. When your gut says danger, you listen, Dorothy, I said. We might have company soon. What? Just hold on. If things get rough, don't let go. Okay, I twisted the throttle. pushed the Harley to 80, then 90, the engine roared. Dorothy's grip got tighter. I checked the mirrors again, and there they were, 3 sets of headlights, maybe a mile back. Coming fast SUVs, black, running dark until now. They'd been following us. Waiting, damn it, I muttered. What's wrong? Dorothy asked, road reapers, 3 vehicles. Behind us, I felt her tense up. What do? We run. I opened the throttle all the way. The Harley screamed. Hit 95, then 100, wind tearing at us. Road blurring beneath. The SUVs were gaining. Bigger engines. More power. I needed an advantage. Needed to use what I knew. This highway. I'd ridden it 1,000 times. Knew every curve. Every turnoff ahead, I saw my chance. Old mining road. Cuts north toward the petrified forest. Nothing but dirt and rocks. SUVs would struggle. But a bike? Bike could dance. Hold tight, I yelled. I yanked the handlebars right. Hard the Harley leaned, tires screaming. We shot off the highway, onto the dirt road, immediately rougher. The bike bounced, shook. Dorothy cried out but held on. I looked back. The SUVs followed, slower now. More cautious. Good the road twisted through scrub brush and cactus. Dark as hell. I killed the headlight. What are you doing? Dorothy screamed. Trust me, I rode by moonlight. Just enough to see the road. But the SUVs? They needed their headlights lit up like Christmas, easy to track. I took a sharp left. Onto an even smaller trail. This one I remembered from years ago. Back when the club used to run these routes. Narrow. Winding. Drops on both sides. Perfect for a bike, hell for a truck. The first SUV tried to follow. Took the turn too fast. I heard the crunch. The scream of metal. Looked back. Saw it tumble off the trail. Into a ravine. Dust cloud rising. Down. 1 to go. No, wait. I counted again. 3 vehicles had followed us. 1 just crashed. Where were the other 2? My answer came fast. Headlights ahead. Blocking the trail. They'd split up. Circled around. Classic pincer move. Behind. SUV ahead. We were boxed in. I slammed the brakes. The Harley skidded. Stopped. Dorothy gasped. What do? She asked. I looked left. Right. Behind. Ahead. Nothing but darkness and desert. Then I saw it, a gap. Between 2 boulders. Maybe 3 feet wide. Too narrow for an SUV. But a Harley? Just barely, Dorothy, I said. Lean with me. Don't fight it. What are you? I gunned the engine. Aimed for the gap. The SUV ahead roared to life. Racing toward us. 50 yards, 40. 30. I didn't slow down. 20 yards, 10. At the last second, I yanked left, shot through the gap. Handlebars scraped rock on both sides. Sparks flying, Dorothy screamed, burst out the other side. Back onto open desert. Behind us, the SUV slammed on brakes. Men jumped out, yelling, shooting. Bullets whined past. One hit the Harley's rear fender, pinged off, but we were moving. And in the dark, on open desert, they couldn't follow. I rode hard for another 10 minutes, then cut back toward the highway. Found a spot where the desert met asphalt, pulled back onto Route 66. Headed east again, I checked behind us. Nothing, we'd lost them for now. By the time we reached Gallup, New Mexico, it was almost 6 a.m. The sun was starting to rise. Sky turning pink and orange. Dorothy was exhausted. Barely holding on, I was running on fumes. Adrenaline wearing off, my shoulder throbbed. My hands ached from gripping the handlebars. We needed rest. We needed to regroup. I knew a place, off the main road, an old garage owned by a friend. Garrett Calloway. We'd ridden together back in the day. Hell's Angels, brothers. Garrett retired same time I did. Opened this garage, fixed bikes, lived quiet. I pulled up to the garage, killed the engine. The place looked closed, but I knew better. I got off the bike. Helped Dorothy down. She could barely stand, legs shaking. Where are we? She asked. Safe, I said. I walked to the side door, knocked 3 times, paused, knocked twice more, old signal. From the club days. A minute later, the door opened. Garrett stood there, 71 years old. Bald head, gray beard down to his chest. He looked at me, then at Dorothy, then back at me. Dalton Caine. He said, you look like hell. Feel like it too. He stepped aside. Get in here. Walked into the garage. Warm. Smelled like oil and metal. 2 bikes on lifts. Tools everywhere. Garrett closed the door behind us. Locked it. Who's this? He asked, nodding at Dorothy. Dorothy Ashford. She needs help. You decided to bring her here? To me? You're the only one I trust, Garrett. He studied me. Then nodded. All right, you hungry? Both of you? Dorothy nodded. Starving, I said. Garrett led us to the back room. Small apartment, kitchen, couch, bed. He made coffee, scrambled eggs. Toey ate in silence. After a while, Garrett spoke. You gonna tell me what's going on? I did. Told him about Dorothy, about Walter, about the USB drive, about Road Reapers, about the chase, about Albuquerque. Garrett listened. When I finished, he sat back, whistled low. Damn, Dalton. You really stepped in it this time. I know. Road Reapers aren't gonna stop. You know that, right? I know. They'll call every chapter, every ally. They'll flood this whole state looking for you. I know. Garrett looked at Dorothy. Ma'am, you got any idea what you're asking this man to do? Dorothy met his eyes. Yes, she said, asking him to risk his life for a stranger, for something that might not even work. And you think that's fair? No. But it's necessary, Garrett grunted. Looked at me, she's got guts. I'll give her that, she does. Poured more coffee. Thought for a moment. You need the brothers, Dalton. You can't do this alone. I'm not dragging them into this. They'd come if you asked. I know. That's why I'm not asking. Garrett shook his head. Stubborn old bastard takes one to know one. He smiled a little. Then got serious again. Albuquerque's 80 miles from here. Maybe an hour. Hour and a half, I know. Road Reapers have set up checkpoints. 5 of them. On every major road in. My stomach dropped. How do you know? Scanner, he said. Pointed to a police radio on the shelf. Been listening. Cops are talking about it. Motorcycle club activity. Blocking roads. They're looking for someone. Us. Yeah, you. Dorothy looked scared. What do we do? She asked. Garrett looked at me. You could call the FBI. Have them send protection? No. I said, why not? Because I don't trust them. You don't trust anyone. Road Reapers knew exactly where Dorothy was. Knew she had the USB. Knew she was heading to Albuquerque. Garrett frowned. You think there's a mole? I know there is. Too many coincidences. Dorothy's face went pale. Agent Pierce. She whispered. He's the only one I told. I nodded. Could be him. Could be someone else. Either way, we can't trust the FBI. So what's the plan? Garrett asked. I thought about it. 5 checkpoints. Probably 10 men at each. Maybe more. 50 men in total. All armed. All looking for us. And I was one old biker with a bad shoulder. The smart play was to walk away. Let Dorothy find another way. But I'd already committed, and I don't break my promises. We go around, I said. Around where? Garrett asked. There's a back road. Through Acoma Pueblo. Old trail. Most people don't know about it. That road's barely passable, I know. But it's our only shot. Garrett looked skeptical. That road's 30 miles of dirt and rocks. In daylight, it's hard. At night, you'll kill yourself. We'll manage. He shook his head. You're insane, probably. Dorothy spoke up. When do we leave? I checked my watch. 6:30 a.m. Few hours. Let the sun get higher. Easier to see the trail, and if Road Reapers find us here, she asked. They won't, Garrett said. This place is off the grid. No one knows about it except old club members. And you trust all of them? Dorothy asked. Garrett and I exchanged a look. Most of them, Garrett said, which meant no. We didn't, but it was the best we had. Dorothy fell asleep on the couch, exhausted. Worn down, Garrett and I sat in the garage, drinking coffee, working on my Harley, checking for damage from the chase. Rear fender was dented, bullet graze, but everything else was fine. Garrett worked in silence for a while, then spoke. You really going to Albuquerque? Yeah. First time in 47 years? Yeah. That's gonna be hard, brother. I didn't answer. He looked at me. You ever gonna forgive yourself for? No, why not? Because he's dead, and I'm not. Garrett set down his wrench. Dalton. Griffin made a choice. He chose to save you. That was his decision. A decision he wouldn't have had to make if I wasn't a junkie. You were 20 years old. You were a kid, old enough to know better. Garrett shook his head. You can't carry that forever, man. It'll kill you. Maybe I deserve that. Bullshit. I looked at him. You think Griffin would want this? He asked. You living like a hermit? Punishing yourself every day? I don't know what Griffin would want. He's dead. He'd want you to live, Dalton. Really live. Not just exist. I was quiet. You know what I think? Garrett continued. I think this whole thing with Dorothy, it's not about her. It's about you. What do you mean? You're going back to Albuquerque because you need to. You need to face that place. Face what happened. I'm going because Dorothy needs help. That too. But mostly, you're going for you, I wanted to argue. But he was right. Part of me was terrified of Albuquerque. But another part, a deeper part, that part needed to go back. Needed to stand in that alley where Griffin died. Needed to finally say goodbye. Maybe, I admitted. Garrett smiled. Took you long enough to figure it out. We worked in silence after that. Around 8 a.m., Dorothy woke up. She walked into the garage. Looked better. More rested? How you feeling? I asked. Better? Thank you. Garrett handed her coffee. You're brave, ma'am, he said. Doing this, most people would have given up. Walter wouldn't have, she said. He believed in doing what's right. No matter the cost, sounds like a good man. The best. She sipped her coffee, then looked at me. Can I ask you something, Dalton? Sure, what happened to you? After Griffin died? I set down my tools, leaned against the workbench. I went to his funeral, I said. Couldn't speak, couldn't look at the casket, just stood there, and then joined the Air Force the next day. Needed structure, discipline. Needed to be someone Griffin could be proud of. Did it work for a while? Got clean, stayed clean, served 20 years. Got married, built a life, but Griffin was still dead. And nothing I did could change that. Dorothy nodded slowly. I understand, she said. When Walter died, I felt the same. Like nothing mattered anymore. What changed? She held up the canvas bag. I found this. Found his USB, his work. And I realized he didn't die for nothing. He died trying to expose evil, trying to protect people. And you're finishing what he started, yes. Because if I don't, then his death really was meaningless. I looked at her, 71 years old, homeless, alone but still fighting, still believing. You remind me of Griffin, I said. How? You don't quit, even when you should, even when it's hopeless. She smiled a little. Walter used to say the same thing about me. He was right. Garrett cleared his throat. Hate to interrupt this moment, he said. But we got a problem. What? He pointed to the police scanner. A voice crackled through. All units, be advised. Road Reapers MC has increased presence on Highway 40. Checkpoints at mile markers 2047, 85, 102, and 126. Proceed with caution. 5 checkpoints, just like Garrett said. And they were looking for us. We need to move, I said. Now, we gathered in the back room. I spread out a map on the table, shows them the route. This is Route 40, I said. Traced a line with my finger, main highway into Albuquerque. Road Reapers have it locked down. And this? Dorothy asked, pointing to a smaller line. A Como Pueblo road, runs parallel, 30 miles of dirt and rock, barely maintained. Can we make it? On the Harley? Barely. It's gonna be rough. Garrett leaned in. Even if you make it through, you still gotta get into Albuquerque. And Road Reapers will be watching the city limits, I know. So what's the plan? I thought about it. We call that the FBI, but not Agent Pierce. Who then? I don't know. But Pierce might be compromised. He needs someone else. Dorothy shook her head. I don't know anyone else. Pierce was Walter's contact. Then we find someone, I said. Someone in internal affairs. Someone who investigates corruption. Garrett picked up his phone. I might know a guy, he said. Who? To ride with us. Joined the FBI after he left the club. Name's Quinlan Fletcher. My heart skipped. Quinlan Fletcher? Yeah, you know him? I did. Quinlan Fletcher. Rode with Griffin in Vietnam. 1969, they were brothers, best friends. When Griffin died, Quinlan was there. He called the ambulance, held Griffin while I fell apart. I hadn't seen him in 47 years. Yeah, I said quietly. I know him. He's FBI now. Internal affairs, high up. Honest guy. If anyone can help, it's him. I hesitated. Seeing Quinlan meant facing another ghost, another piece of that night. But we didn't have a choice. Call him? I said. Garrett dialed, waited. Someone answered. Quinn? It's Garrett Calloway. Yeah. Long time. Listen, I need your help. It's about Dalton Caine. Pause. Yeah. Griffin's brother. He's here. And he's in trouble. Garrett explained the situation. Dorothy. The USB. Road Reapers. Quinlan listened. Then Garrett handed me the phone. He wants to talk to you. I took it, held it to my ear. Hello? A voice I hadn't heard in 47 years. Dalton Caine. Never thought I'd hear from you again, Quinlan. How you been, brother? Been better, I bet. Garrett filled me in. Sounds like you stepped in it. Yeah, And you're heading to Albuquerque. Yeah, silence on the line. Then, first time since Griffin died. Yeah, that's gonna be hard, I know. More silence. Then Quinlan spoke again. Voice softer. Griffin would be proud, you know. What you're doing for this woman. My throat tightened. I don't know about that. I do. He always said you had a good heart. Just needed to find it. I didn't know what to say. Listen, Quinlan continued. I'm in Albuquerque, FBI office. I'll help you. But you gotta trust me, can I? Griffin did. That was enough. Okay, where are you now? Gallup. Garrett's place. Stay there. I'm sending a team. We'll extract you and Dorothy. Get you to Albuquerque safe. Know what? Road Reapers have ears everywhere. If you send a team, they'll know. They'll ambush us. So what do you want to do? We're taking the back road. Through a coma. We'll meet you in Albuquerque. That road's dangerous, I know. And if Road Reapers catch you, they won't. Quinlan sighed. You're just as stubborn as Griffin was. I learned from the best. All right. When you get to Albuquerque, call me. I'll meet you. Somewhere safe. Okay, Dalton? Yeah? It's good to hear your voice, brother. Griffin would be happy we're talking again, yeah. He would. I hung up, handed the phone back to Garrett. Dorothy looked at me. We have help? Yeah. FBI Internal Affairs. Quinlan Fletcher. He's going to meet us in Albuquerque. Can we trust him? He was Griffin's best friend. If Griffin trusted him, so do I. Dorothy nodded. Okay, Garrett stood up. You're really doing this the Acoma Road? Yeah, you're insane. So you keep saying, he smiled. All right then, let me pack you some supplies, food, water, first aid kit. Thanks, brother. He paused at the door. Look back, Dalton. When you get to Albuquerque, when you see that alley where Griffin died, yeah? Don't run from it. Face it. Let yourself feel it. That's the only way you'll ever move on. I nodded. I'll try. He left. Dorothy and I sat in silence. After a while, she spoke. You're scared, aren't you? Terrified? Of road reapers? Of Albuquerque? She reached across the table. Took my hand. I'm scared too, she gathered. I looked at this brave, broken woman who'd lost everything, but kept fighting, just like Griffin. Yeah, I said. Together, we left Garrett's garage at 10 a.m. Supplies packed, Harley fueled, rode ahead uncertain. But for the first time in 47 years, I wasn't running from my past. I was riding toward it. And maybe, just maybe, I'd finally find peace. The Acoma Road started smooth, paved for the first 2 miles. Then it turned to gravel, then dirt, then just rocks and hope. Dorothy held on tight behind me. Her bag pressed between us. The Harley growled beneath us. Engine working hard. Wasn't what she was built for. Highway cruising. Long, smooth roads. But she'd manage. She always did. The landscape changed as we climbed. Desert gave way to red rock, ancient formations. Sacred land, the Acoma Pueblo, Sky City, oldest, continuously inhabited settlement in North America. The people here had lived on this land for 1,000 years. Through drought, through war, through everything. They endured just like Dorothy was enduring. The road twisted upward, narrow. Steep drops on one side. I kept the speed low. 20 miles an hour. Careful, one wrong move and we'd tumble. My hands ached from gripping the handlebars. Shoulders screaming, but I didn't stop, couldn't stop. Around noon, we reached the highest point. I pulled over. Killed the engine. We need a break. Dorothy climbed off. Stretched, winced. You okay? I asked sore. But okay, I pulled out the water Garrett packed, handed her a bottle. She drank deep. I looked out over the valley below. Could see for miles each time, desert stretching forever. Beautiful. In a harsh, unforgiving way. How much further? Dorothy asked. 20 miles. Maybe less. And then? Then we're in Albuquerque. She was quiet. You scared, she asked? Yeah. Of road reapers? Of the memory. She sat down on a rock. Patted the space to her. I sat. Tell me about Griffin. She said I didn't want to. But maybe I needed to. He was 8 years older than me, I began. Practically raised me after our mom left. What happened to your parents? Dad was a drunk, mean one. Mom couldn't take it. Left when I was 6. Took nothing. Just walked out. Griffin stayed. Yeah. He was 14. Could have left. Gone to live with our aunt. But he stayed. For me, he loved you more than I deserved. Dorothy shook her head. Don't say that. It's true. I was a screw-up. Got into drugs at 17. Griffin tried to help. I pushed him away, but he came back. Yeah, he always came back. I looked at my hands. Scarred. Warned that last time, I continued. I owed money to some dealers. Bad people. They were going to kill me. And Griffin saved you, tried to. He busted into their place, got me out. But they followed, caught us in an alley. My voice cracked. He pushed me into his truck. Told me to drive, but I froze. I was high, scared, useless. You were 20 years old enough to know better. Dorothy put her hand on mine, Dalton. You can't change the past. Griffin made his choice. He chose you, and it killed him. But you lived. You got clean. You served your country. You built a life. That's what he wanted. I knew she was right. But knowing and feeling are different things. I just wish, I said. I wish I could tell him I'm sorry. That I didn't waste his sacrifice. Maybe you can, Dorothy said. How? By going back. By standing where he fell. By saying the words out loud. I looked at her. You think that'll help? I think it's the only thing that will. She was right. I'd been running for 47 years. Maybe it was time to stop. We rested for 20 minutes, then got back on the bike and headed down the mountain toward Albuquerque, toward the ghost I'd been carrying all this time. We were 10 miles from Albuquerque when they found us. I heard them before I saw them. Engines, multiple. Coming fast, I checked my 3 motorcycles, Road Reapers patches, and behind them, 2 SUVs. Damn it, I muttered. Dorothy asked. We got company, she looked back. Saw them, how did they find us? Doesn't matter. Hold on. I twisted the throttle. The Harley surged forward, but we were on dirt, loose gravel, couldn't go full speed. Road Reapers bikes were built for this. Dirt bikes, light. Fast they gained on us. One pulled alongside. Rider reaching for something, chain heavy, meant to knock me off. I swerved right, barely avoided it, the bike skidded. Dorothy screamed, but I kept control. Second rider pulled up on the left. This one had a pistol. He aimed, I braked hard, he shot. Bullet whined past where my head had been. The sudden stop threw him off. He overshot, crashed into rocks. One down, 2 bikes left. Plus the SUVs, the road ahead split. Left went toward the highway. Right went deeper into the wilderness. Left was safer, but Road Reapers would expect it. Right was unknown. Dangerous, I went right. The Harley bounced over rough terrain. Dorothy held on. White-knuckled, the 2 remaining bikes followed, but the SUVs couldn't. Too rough, good, better odds. The trail narrowed, barely wide enough for the Harley. I pushed harder, 50 miles an hour, on dirt and rocks. Insane, but I had no choice. One of the Road Reapers pulled up beside me, big guy. Tattoos, scarred face. He swung a bat, aimed for my head. I ducked, the bat hit empty air. He swung again. This time I couldn't duck. I raised my left arm, blocked it. Pain exploded through my bad shoulder. I almost lost control. The Harley wobbled, front wheel lifting. Dorothy screamed. I fought it, brought the wheel down, kept riding, but my shoulder was done. Couldn't lift my arm. The Road Reaper pulled up again, bat raised. This time he'd hit me. I knew it, no way to block, no way to dodge. I was done. But then Dorothy moved. She let go of me with one hand, reached into her bag, pulled out something, a rock, heavy. Jagged, she hurled it. Perfect to throw. Hit the Road Reaper right in the face. He jerked. Lost control. His bike went sideways. Tumbled. Rider thrown. He hit the ground hard. Didn't get up. 2 down. 1 bike left. This rider was smarter. Stayed back. Out of throwing range. He was patient. Waiting for his moment. And then I saw why ahead. The trail ended. Just stopped, cliff edge. 50-foot drop. Dead end. I slammed the brakes. Tires locked. We skidded, stopped 5 feet from the edge. Dorothy and I jumped off. I turned, the last Road Reaper stopped 20 yards back, got off his bike, pulled a gun, end of the road, Ironside. He said I recognized him. One of Vince's crew from the truck stop. Give us the woman in the drive, he said. And I'll make it quick. Can't do that, I said. Then you die slow. He raised the gun, aimed at Dorothy. I stepped in front of her. You want her? I said. Go through me. He smiled, gladly. His finger tightened on the trigger. And then a shot rang out, but not from his gun. From somewhere else, the Road Reaper stumbled, looked down, blood spreading across his chest. He fell. I spun around on the ridge above us. A figure, holding a rifle, wearing an FBI jacket, the figure stood. Started climbing down. As he closer, I saw his face, older gray hair, but I recognized him. Quinlan Fletcher, Griffin's best friend. Quinlan, I breathed. He reached us, lowered his rifle. Dalton Caine, he said. You always did have a flair for the dramatic. How did you, and tracking you since you left Garrett's? Had a drone overhead. Saw the ambush coming. He looked at Dorothy. You must be Mrs. Ashford. She nodded. Still shaken, I'm Agent Quinlan Fletcher, FBI Internal Affairs. I'm here to help. Thank you. She whispered. Quinlan turned back to me. And for a moment, we just looked at each other. 47 years since we'd last met. That night in the alley. Griffin dying between us. You look old, Quinlan said. So do you, smiled. Sad. Griffin would have laughed at that. Yeah, he would have. Quinlan's smile faded. I've been waiting a long time for you to come back. Dalton? I know. You ready? No. But I'm here anyway. He nodded. That's all Griffin ever wanted. Quinlan had a SUV hidden a mile back. He led us there. Helped Dorothy was exhausted. Scared. But alive. Quinlan drove. I sat passenger. Dorothy in back. We headed toward Albuquerque. The city appeared on the horizon, sprawling. Modern. Nothing like the small town it was in 1972. But somewhere in there was that alley. That place, my stomach churned. You okay? Quinlan asked. No, want to talk about it? Not really, he nodded. Understood. We drove in silence for a while. Then Dorothy spoke from the back. Where are we going? Safe house, Quinlan said. FBI owns it. Secure. Off the books, and then? Then we look at what's on that USB. See what we're dealing with. And Agent Pierce, she asked. Quinlan's jaw tightened. Pierce is dirty. I know that now. How? I ran some checks. Found deposits in his account. Offshore. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. From who? Still tracing it. But I'd bet it's connected to road reapers. Or whoever they're working for. Dorothy looked stricken. Walter trusted him. I know. I'm sorry, so what do we do? We bypass him. Go straight to my director. Present the evidence. Let the FBI do its job. He looked at her in the mirror, but I need to see what's on that drive first. Make sure it's legit. Dorothy pulled it out of her bag, handed it forward. Here, Quinlan took it, slipped it into his pocket. Thank you, Mrs. Ashford. I promise you. We'll get justice for Walter. She nodded, tears in her eyes. We drove deeper into the city. I watched the streets pass. So much had changed. New buildings, new roads, new everything. But the bones were the same. This was still the city where Griffin died. Quinlan pulled into a quiet neighborhood. Older homes, trees lining the street. He parked in front of a small ranch house, beige. Unremarkable. This is it, he said. We got out. Quinlan unlocked the door. Led us inside. The house was sparse. Furniture, TV. Nothing personal. A place to hide. Not to live. Make yourselves comfortable, Quinlan said. I need to make some calls. Get the ball rolling. He disappeared into a back room. Dorothy sat on the couch. Looked around. Are we safe here? She asked. For now, I said. And later? I don't know. She looked at me. You're thinking about Griffin. Yeah. Where did it happen? The alley, downtown. Old part of the city. Behind a bar. Is it still there? I don't know. Haven't been back. Do you want to see it? Did I? Part of me screamed no. Run. Leave. Don't go back. But another part. The part that had been broken for 47 years. That part whispered yes. I think I have to, I said. Dorothy stood. Walked over. Then I'll go with you. You don't have to. Yes, I do. You've been with me this whole time. Let me be with you. I looked at her. This woman I'd known for less than a day, but who felt like family. Okay, I said. Quinlan drove us. Downtown Albuquerque, old district. The buildings here were older, some from the 1960s, maybe earlier. He pulled up to a corner, pointed. There, he said. Behind that building, I looked, a brick building. 3 stories. Used to be a bar. Now a coffee shop behind it. An alley. My breath caught. You sure you want to do this? Quinlan asked. No, but I'm doing it anyway. I got out. Dorothy followed. Quinlan stayed in the SUV, giving us space. Walked slowly toward the alley. Each step heavier than the last. The alley was narrow. Dark even in daylight. Brick walls on both sides. Dumpsters. Fire escape. I stepped in and it all came back. The sound of gunshots. Griffin's blood. His voice. Weak. Dying. Don't let my death mean nothing. I stopped. Right there. The spot where he fell. The concrete was different now. Repaved. No blood. But I knew. This was the place I knelt. Put my hand on the ground. I'm sorry. Griffin, I whispered. The words came easier than I expected. I'm sorry I was weak. Sorry I got you killed. Sorry I ran from this place for so long. My voice broke. You died believing I could be better. And I tried. I really tried. But I never felt like it was enough. Dorothy knelt beside me, put her hand on my shoulder. I kept talking. I joined the Air Force like you wanted. Got clean. Stayed clean. Married a good woman. Lived a good life. Tears now. Wouldn't stop them. But I never came back here. Couldn't face it. Couldn't face you. I pulled out his dog tag. Held it tight. I carry this every day. Your tag. Your memory, like a weight around my neck. But maybe, I said, maybe that's wrong. Maybe you didn't die so I could carry guilt. Maybe you died so I could carry hope. I looked at Dorothy. She reminds me of you. Dorothy. She's fighting for something good. Something right. Even though it might kill her. And I realized that's what you would have wanted. For me to keep fighting. Keep standing up. Keep being the man you believed I was. I stood. Dorothy stood with me. So I'm here, I said, 47 years later. And I'm telling you, your death meant something. It meant everything. Because of you, I lived. I survived. I became someone worth being. I pressed the dog tag to my lips. And because of you, I saved her, Dorothy. Just like you saved me. The alley was quiet. Just wind. Just silence. But somehow, in that silence, I felt peace. For the first time in 47 years, I felt peace. Dorothy took my hand. He's proud of you, she said. No, because I would be. If I were him, I smiled. Tears still falling? Thank you. We walked back to the SUV. Quinlan looked at me. You okay? Yeah, I said. I think I am. He smiled. Good. Because we got work to do. Back at the safe house, Quinlan set up a laptop. Plugged in the USB drive, populated the screen, hundreds of them. Jesus, Quinn muttered. What is it? Dorothy asked. Spreadsheets, bank records, transaction logs. 3 years' worth. He clicked through them. Your husband was thorough, Mrs. Ashford. This is everything. Is it enough? She asked. More than enough. This is huge. He kept scrolling, stopped on one file. What's that? I asked. Names, Quinlan said. Officials, politicians, law enforcement. He clicked it open, a list appeared. 20 names. I recognized some local police chiefs, city councilmen. And at the top, Senator Franklin, son of a bitch, Quinlan breathed. U.S. Senator, New Mexico. Been in office 25 years. Powerful. Connected and dirty, I said. Very. Quinlan pulled out his phone. I need to call this in. Get a team mobilized. Wait, I said, what? If Hargrove's involved, if he's got this much power, he's got people everywhere, so how do you know who to trust? Quinlan paused. I trust my director. Are you sure? He looked at me. Mess. I'm sure. Stake your life on it? Mess. Stake Dorothy's life on it? He hesitated. Dalton, we have to go through proper channels. I can't just, you can, I said. Your internal affairs, you investigate corruption. This is corruption, but no buts. You said yourself. Pierce is dirty. Who else? Quinlan was quiet. What do you want me to do? He finally asked. Call your director. But do it carefully. Don't tell him where we are. Don't tell him about Dorothy. Just tell him you have evidence. Big evidence. And you need a secure team. And if he's dirty too, then we find another way. Quinlan thought about it, then nodded. Okay, I'll make the call. He went into the other room. Dora and I waited. 10 minutes later, he came back. Well, I asked. He's clean. I'm sure of it. He's mobilizing a team, FBI, SWAT, U.S. Marshals. They'll be here in 3 hours. And Senator Hargrove? Arrest warrants being prepared. Simultaneous raids. His office. His home. Bank accounts frozen. Good. Quinn looked at me. We did it, Dalton. We actually did it. Dorothy did it, I said. We just helped. Dorothy smiled. First real smile I'd seen from her. Walter did it, she said. I'm just finishing what he started. We sat in silence waiting for the cavalry. 3 hours felt like forever. But finally, we heard vehicles outside. Quinlan looked out the window. They're here. Black SU logos. Agents poured out. Armed. Armored, Quinlan went to the door, let him in. A woman entered. 50, gray suit. All business. Agent Fletcher. She said, Director Morrison. Quinlan replied. They shook hands. Morrison looked at me. Then Dorothy. You must be Mrs. Ashford. Dorothy nodded. I'm Director Lisa Morrison, FBI. I want to thank you for your courage. I just want justice for my husband. You'll have it. I promise. Morrison turned to her team. Get Mrs. Ashford into protective custody. Full security, nothing gets to her. 2 agents moved forward, escorted Dorothy out. She looked back at me. Thank you, Dalton. Thank you, Dorothy. She smiled. And then she was gone. Morrison turned to Quinlan. The raids, simultaneous. Starting in 10 minutes. Good. And Senator Hargrove? Being arrested as we speak. Morrison nodded. This is going to be big. National news. Will end. People will go to prison. She looked at me, including some we thought were clean. Agent Pierce? I asked. Already in custody. Confessed to everything. Named his co-conspirators. How many? 12 cops. FBI agents. Even a judge. Jesus, your friend Dorothy. She just brought down the biggest corruption ring in New Mexico history. I smiled. Walter would be proud, yes. He would. Morrison left. Quinlan and I stood alone. What now? I asked. Now? You go home. Try to live a normal life. Don't know if I remember how. He laughed. You'll figure it out. He looked at me. Serious now. Griffin would be proud. You know, you keep saying that because it's true. What you did, saving Dorothy, facing your past, that took courage or stupidity. Sometimes they're the same thing. He put his hand on my shoulder. It was good seeing you again, Dalton. Even if it took 47 years. Yeah, it was. Don't be a stranger. I won't. We shook hands. And for the first time since Griffin died, I felt like I could breathe. I left Albuquerque that evening. Alone on my Harley, the sun was setting. Sky painted orange and red. I rode west on Route 66, back the way I came, but different now, lighter. I reached mile marker 247, the spot where I stopped every day for 47 years. I pulled over, got off the bike, looked west toward Albuquerque, the city I just left, the city where my brother died, and for the first time, I didn't feel guilt. I felt gratitude. Griffin gave me life, and I'd finally learned how to live it. I pulled out his dog tag, looked at it one last time. Then I knelt, dug a small hole in the dirt beside the marker, and I buried it. Not because I was forgetting Griffin, but because I was finally letting him rest. Goodbye, brother, I whispered. Thank you for everything. I stood, got back on the Harley, and rode home to Tucson, to my cabin, to whatever came next, because Griffin was right. Life isn't about the ghosts we carry. It's about the people we save, and the man we choose to be every single day. 1 year later, Peral's Diner. Early morning, I sat in my usual booth. Coffee steaming in front of me, the door opened. Dorothy walked in. She looked different, healthy, clean clothes. Hair styled, not homeless anymore. She spotted me, smiled, walked over. Mind if I sit? Please. She slid into the booth. Pearl brought coffee without being asked. Good to see you, honey, Pearl said. You too, Pearl. Dorothy sipped her coffee. I got the settlements check, she said. The FBI. Victim compensation fund? How much? 500,000. I whistled. That's good. Yeah. I bought a house here in Tucson. Small, but it's mine. I'm happy for you. And I started a foundation, the Walter Ashford Foundation. Helps homeless women, gives them housing. Job training. Hope, that's wonderful. She looked at me. I want you to be on the board. If you're willing me, you saved my life, Dalton. Let me give you I thought about it. Okay, I said. I'm in. She smiled. We drank coffee in comfortable silence. Then the door opened again. A woman walked in, maybe 45, nervous. Worn down, she looked around, spotted Dorothy, walked over hesitantly. Excuse me. Are you Dorothy Ashford? I am. I heard you help women. Women like me. I'm homeless, lost everything, and I don't know what to do. Dorothy stood. What's your name? Maureen. Maureen Finch. Dorothy took her hand. Sit down, Maureen. Let's talk. Maureen sat. Dorothy looked at me, and I knew this was it. This was what Griffin died for. Not just to save me, but to start a chain. I saved Dorothy. Dorothy saved Maureen, and Maureen would save someone else. The cycle continuing forever. I finished my coffee, stood to leave. Dorothy looked up. Where are you going? Home. You got this. She smiled. Thank you, Dalton, for everything. Thank you, Dorothy. I walked out in the Arizona morning, got on my Harley, and not to hide, not to run, but to live. The way Griffin always wanted.